chat wrist spin. Always great to chat spin with any spinners. There's a big spinners union, like there is a fast bowlers union. I was talking to Kushal Bertel about how he releases his googly. It's a different kind of googly. Found this really interesting. Bowls his leg break with 3 fingers. His googly bowls with 2. And it's kind of the 2 that you would consider as an off-spinner's grip. That's something that we've seen Rashid Khan pioneer. So it's kind of the same as the Rashid Khan googly. 20 bowled, 89 for 2 the score. In one of the ODIs, already today, 7. And there's still more bowling options to come. Who hasn't had a bowl yet? Rohit Paudel?
Rohit Paudel, Deepinder Singh Ari hasn't gotten himself on with the ball in hand. I reckon you're probably going to see at least one, if not both, just because the pace bowlers haven't been on today. And you might just think Rohit Paudel's trying to gear himself up, give his pace bowlers time to find their rhythm yet again, especially with how good and consistent Kushal Mala's been, and Patel in his first over, just slowing the run rate up.
Oh, now, deflection off the bat of Saiteja Mukamala. Not intentional, of course. They'll still get the single. Yeah, you do wonder, you'd suspect we'll see an 8th bowler in the shape of Deepinder Singh Ari at some point, particularly if the left-handers get to the crease. Remarkable, though, isn't it, that how we were talking in the first half an hour as to that it might be a pretty good effort to bat the overs. The USA are thinking of, well, what can we get? Can we get 250, 260? Can we get more than that?
I think we were having a conversation that 200 to 220, as this one, again, you could just see Mukamala unable to get the bat out of the way, and Lindo had to be quick to get out of the way himself. And
oh, Ari again. I wasn't looking at the screen that ball. I was watching Deepinder Singh Ari for some reason. I don't think anyone else in the field cuts off that single. And again, it's not just the actual act of fielding, the anticipation. He was already going to his left before the ball had even pitched. And these dots are building up a bit of pressure. Been an effective spell, hasn't it, from Kushal Malla?
It's exactly what Rohit Paudel would have wanted at least one of the seamers to do. Just build pressure at one end and force him to take on Bertel. It's actually a really smart move to get the mystery of Kushal Bertel going, because you're seeing the pressure built up. He's well done out in the outfield to keep it to just 2 runs, but Malla being as consistent as he is, and Monik Patel being deprived of the strike, you almost feel Bertel might be able to just slip one through. Patel, and then Mukamala's had his trouble, again, cutting outside the off stump.
So 4 from Mala's 5th over. He's halfway through what could be a full 10 over allocation for him. 93 for 2. You sense as though Nepal need a wicket, don't you? And might be Kushal Bertel the one who's going to provide it. Questions flowing in on social media. We're going to try and get to those, but difficult when the spinners are on. You can use that hashtag CWCL2. That's what you're watching here, the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2 action. All of the 8 premier associates in the world of cricket playing 36 ODIs across 2.5 years to decide 4 of the spots. We will try and get to those questions and comments maybe when the seam bowlers get back on. Just let us know where you're watching from as well. Or you can get my co-commentator Aman Patel at AP Sports News _ as well. Something I promise I'm going to do during one of Nepal's ODIs. I forgot to do it today. I'm going to print out a map of the globe. And I'm going to, because I love when people send in a message at Cricket Badge. Hello, Andrew, I'm watching from X. I'm watching from Sweden or from Australia. We know there's a big Nepalese fan contingent down in Australia in particular. But I'm going to get that map, and then I'm going to get a highlighter. Not that I'm not doing enough multitasking on air. And I'm going to colour in every country. Not going to do it today because I forgot. I've forgotten everything today. I forgot my Dhaka topi. I forgot my tab. I don't know. I'm all over the place this morning. Barely had enough clothes to wear to come to the ground. But I'm going to do that. I reckon we'd get to about half the world being filled in.
I think we might. I think might be underselling that one because we find so many different pockets of the globe, and
Europe's a big hotspot.
Europe's a big hotspot. You get a couple different spots in the USA.
Loads in America.
Nepal obviously is
Canada.
going to have crazy. Canada, India, you get a couple.
There's a whole load of places I didn't know until I've started to become so connected with Nepal. And I gather these are where students tend to go. Japan, Korea, even up in China as well. That surprised me. I think the areas we might not have as many pockets, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're watching on from South America or from Africa, I don't think you'd have as many people from Nepal there. But Europe, I'd say close to all of the EU countries. Gonna run a quick single. Irie again, a live wire. And this one's thudded into the boot of Saiteja Mukamal. Let's hope that he's okay. North America's got people from Nepal everywhere. Lots of Nepalese restaurants, isn't there, too? But yeah, I reckon we'd go over 100 of the 200 odd countries.
I think you're right. Again, you got Australia we've heard about already,
packed.
Sydney and Melbourne.
New
Zealand we've heard about a couple of times, and I think we got a South Africa shout in there once, so I'm sure there's plenty more where that comes from. It's not a bad idea. Maybe we get the Excel spreadsheet so you don't have to carry another piece of paper. Just check them off.
There is a website you can click on the countries, but no, I'm not going to do it today. Too much going on in this game. But if you do have an exotic place, you can do it privately or publicly on direct message on Twitter.